Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have done this like mauvey purpley smoky eye using pretty much one eyeshadow palette, and then I've done a really glittery inner corner and just kind of like a fresh waterline. Anyway, let's jump straight into this tutorial. So first of all, I'm going to be using my Becca Backlight Primer. I literally love this primer. It's so glowy and just makes the skin look so healthy and radiant. So I'm just going to use that and pat and smooth that in with my fingers. Then next, I'm going to try this technique out that I've seen thrown around Instagram, and basically what it is using a red colour lipstick or liquid lipstick, and this one is Cheerleader from Huda Beauty, and applying it underneath the eyes where you have darkness. So as soon as I've applied it, I'm going to buff it in with like an old sponge that I don't mind getting some pigment on, and pretty much the red is going to counteract any of the darkness that you have underneath your eyes. Normally it's like a salmon colour, so when you blend it out it does turn into like a salmon colour. Don't leave it to be too red. And then when you apply your foundation, and today I'm using the Born This Way foundation by Too Faced in the shade Sand, and I'm going to go over it, and it literally does cover up so well, and it just gets rid of any of the purple or like the greenish kind of tones that you have underneath the eyes. And because it was a liquid lipstick, I felt like it gave it more coverage and it kind of stayed in place because it dried quite quickly, so an extra plus for that. Then I'm going to prime my eyelids using Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC, like always, just to get rid of any of my veins and redness that I have looking on my eyelids. I cannot stop using this concealer at the moment, and it's the Shape Tape from Tarte, and I'm using the shade Light Medium and then also a little bit of Light. I am loving my under eyes being a little bit lighter than normal. I'm just going back to the old trend, I guess, but I just love it because it just kind of brightens it up and makes me look a little bit more alive and awake. Taking my good friend Laura here, and I'm just going to use her to dry off all the concealer and just add a little bit more coverage, as well as keep the concealer there all day. Now that we're going into summer, I feel like concealers tend to crease more and move more because of the oils and the heat, so just doing this extra step would just ensure that your concealer stays put all day. Then moving on to the eyes, I'm taking the Sigma Warm Neutrals palette, and if I'm being honest, this is more of a neutral cool tone palette, I personally think, but you'll see with this eyeshadow look. The first shade that I'm using is Cinnamon, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade, so I'm taking it on my 228 brush from Zoeva, and I'm going to be working this into the crease and the outer corner using circular motions to buff this all in. Honestly, these eyeshadows blend so nicely. I have never really tried Sigma eyeshadows before, so I was really surprised actually how well the pigments came off and how nicely they all blended together. Then I'm going to start to darken up the eyeshadow by taking the shade Cozy, which is a grey brown shade, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing as we've done previously but with a different brush, and this time I'm taking it on my 227 brush from Zoeva, and I'm just going to make sure that in the eye socket into the crease I'm going to go quite heavy handed and apply quite a lot of pressure to get it to be quite harsh. I just wanted a harshness there. And then taking the purple shade, which is called Russet, and I'm just going to apply this on the outer corner using my Through-Line brush to pat it on all the way from the lash line going up, so it kind of makes like a V on like to the side. If you imagine a V on its side, that's kind of the shape that it's creating, which I feel like makes the eye look a little bit more catty and almondy shape. Going in with the shade Sugar Milk, and I'm just going to pat this on top of the lid area, and all this is going to do really is brighten it up, make it look lighter, and then also kind of clean up a little bit of the purple shade just to make it a little bit more precise and clean. Then starting on the lower lash line, I'm going to be taking Cinnamon again on my Through-Line fluffy brush, and I'm going to apply this all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner and join it up to that top outer corner eyeshadow. Just makes everything look better and just kind of complete. And then just to make it a little bit darker, I'm taking the dark purple shade called Russet just to darken up slightly on the lash line. To brighten and freshen up my waterline, I'm taking the Faux Whites liner in Lavender Blush from NYX Cosmetics, and it's just a white shade with a undertone of purple, and it's so pretty. I literally love all of these white liners. Then for the sparkly inner corner, I'm taking the Glitter Injections Pan in the shade Tropical Smoothie, and what it is a white glitter that has like a reflex of purple It's honestly beautiful. When you put it on, like the purple just beams out of the glitter when it catches the light. It's so pretty and it's sticky, so you don't have to have any glue adhesive and you won't get any glitter fallout, which is a massive win-win. So for mascara today, I fancied a little bit more volume, so I'm using my Big Shot mascara from Maybelline. Because I'm going to be popping on flared lashes in a second, I needed them to be a little bit more thicker and longer than they are. So for my lashes, I'm taking the Red Cherry flared ones. And these ones are in the style like medium. And I'm just going to pop that in some glue and then pretty much pop them where I think I need them until I feel like I'm happy with the length and thickness. And then we're going to use a little device that kind of compresses my natural ones to the falsies and makes them like stick up a little bit more so they're nice and fluttery. I picked up the little tweezer things from the range. I think they're mainly for like applying sequins and like crystals to the face or something, but I just use them for that instead. Then going back onto the face makeup, I'm taking my bronzing palette from Maybelline, and I don't think this is out yet, but when it comes out, you have to try this. Honestly, as soon as I put it on, it's the perfect bronzing shade ever. And for the drugstore, they've really nailed it on the head, and it's just amazing. So please promise me that you'll just try it. Just even go in and just swatch it, just so you know. And then I'm taking the Makeup Store Contour little palette. It's a contour shade. I'm not sure if it has like any, but I'll let you know. And I'm just going to use that to further contour some areas, so underneath my cheekbones and then in my temples especially. Then I'm taking my Laura Mercier powder again, and I'm just going to clean up and chisel out the contoured areas. And then I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palette, and I'm using the shades Capri, which is a cream. So I'm first of all going to apply that on my cheekbones using my sponge, and then I'm going to be putting on top Santorini, which is one of the palest shades in the whole like range on top. I feel like these highlighters work so well when there's a cream underneath. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that impressed with the powders on their own, but as soon as they have a cream underneath for something to stick to and make it more vibrant and glowy, then I loved it. And then again, I'm taking the Maybelline Blush Palette. I'm not sure if these are out yet, but when they are out, you have to try. And I'm taking that shade, it's more of like a rosy shade, and I'm going to pop that onto the apples of my cheeks, just to make me look like I got a nice flushed face. And then I'm going to work all that powder off underneath the cheekbones just to get rid of it so it doesn't go too white or too stark. And then for my lips, to finish off this makeup look, I'm taking my NYX lip liner in the shade, and I don't know, so I'm going to go grab it. And it's in the shade Soft Spoken, which reminds me very much of Whirl lip liner from MAC. Alright guys, that's it for this makeup tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed this quick little toot. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye!